When I was in corporate America, at the beginning of 2015, I left at the end of 2015. And at the beginning of 2015, I ran a marathon with a friend of mine, not a full marathon. It was an 8K, okay? And I've been in shape for most of my life enough to run a 5K or 8K without really training, because that's a normal part of what running and all that's a normal part of what I do. And so he's like, hey man, this is my first time. Can you come out and support me? I said, absolutely. So I went out, ran with him, and I did exactly what I said I would do. I'm like, hey man, don't stop, let's go. There was one point where he started running fast, and I'm like, hey, slow down. We still, just because you saw this is the last mile doesn't mean we don't want to go fast yet. You're gonna run out of juice. This last mile is the hardest mile, right? And then sure enough, he slowed down. We got to, a quarter of a mile left, and I'm like, let's go, boom. And we finished. And everything seemed to be fine. And when I got home and I was getting out the car to the garage, I couldn't stand on my foot. Now, mind you, I said I train like this all the time, and I couldn't stand on my foot. And I went to a podiatrist. They said, well, you have plantar fasciitis. And I got on the phone with my coach that week, and I said, yeah, man, something's wrong with my foot. He said, well, there's a meaning. Everything that happens in your body, there's a meaning for it. And I said, well, what does that mean? And there's a book by Louise Hayes where she basically breaks down. She talks about your healing in the book, and she breaks down how different ailments in the body mean something in life. And when he looked up the foot, it said you're not powerfully stepping forward in a place in your life where you know you should. And I knew that based on my purpose on the planet, it was time to leave that job. It was time to leave that job. And I was scared to leave the job because of how much money I was making, and I didn't know if I could make that money living my purpose. And my body, because of the tension in my body, I'm healthy, right? But my body is beginning to break down. I hope you guys are listening to me. Because of the tension in my body, right, caused in my mind, knowing my purpose on the planet and not necessarily living my purpose, like knowing what I'm supposed to do next, it was creating a tension in my body where just running an 8K, which was normal for me, my foot went out, right? And I started noticing my body was breaking down in areas where I'd never had my body break down before. Then I left, right? Fast forward to the end of 2015 when I left. When I left corporate America, I immediately dropped 10 pounds. Now, I've never been a fat guy, right? Right now, I'm about 186 pounds, 187 pounds. When I was in corporate America, and I was doing the same activities, right? When I was in corporate America, I was 195, 197. The weight I dropped was stress weight. And this is what I'm getting to in terms of self-love, okay? Self-love, many of us think I love myself. I love myself. Self-love is knowing yourself to the extent where you know your purpose, and you heard Caroline in the first caller, right? And doing whatever it takes to continually gain the knowledge I need to take care of myself holistically, like Dr. Terry Mason said in his call, right? Mentally, physically, and spiritually. That's self-love. That's self-love. And we're going to really dive into it in the second hour. And at the end, I'm going to share some strategies on how to really move yourself forward and gain more awareness when it comes time to take that assessment. Do I love myself? Do I love myself?